Welcome everybody to the No Labels, No Walls, We Are One Action Monday. My name is Markus Vähälä, coming live from Finland. And with me I have Professor Sheila Misra today. Welcome, you're the host today.
Thank you so much, Marcus. And everyone, please accept my namaskar from India. I'm Professor Sheila Mishra, as Marcus told all of you. And I'm a professor of statistics, and I believe in humanity. And I believe strongly that we all over the world are one single family. And we all need to take care of each other. And together only we can ensure well-being for everybody. So we need to work together, we need to think together, we need to stay together, and we need to sustain together. So it's wonderful to be together today, this beautiful evening in India. And I welcome Rafael Vargas and from Brazil. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Sheila.
Yeah, it's great to have you with us. And how are you, Simon? And welcome to the show.
Hiya, I'm very well, a little bit tired of a day of running around, but I'm well.
Well, great to see you here with us. And welcome, Riku Turpin. And I'm sorry if I'm not able to pronounce it correctly. And it's really my pleasure. It's my pleasure to welcome you in the show. So,
thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well. I have been today on recording studio, and just did 8 songs there today already, and
that's
very nice day.
Great to hear. And it's my pleasure to welcome William Rai. How are you? Yes, William?
I'm fine, doing well. Been a rainy day up here in the northeast of Scotland, unfortunately. So it's living up to its name now. Aberdeen, just because the sun doesn't come up or you can't see it, it doesn't mean it doesn't come up. It's probably been up long before we got up and had its fun and now gone to bed.
So we welcome you in the show and thank you for joining us. And Michael Berman and your companion, both of you, it's great to have you here and to see you here. So welcome to the show, and I'm really delighted to be with you again, like last Monday.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're great to be here. Michael Bierman, Sternberg Laboratory.
And I'm Mary Pekarinen from the Sternberg Laboratory too.
We're
nice to see you today.
Yeah, we're so happy to have everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to have you all. And how are you, Pia? Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. I'm fine. I'm on holiday at the moment, so I'm relaxing.
Okay, great. That's the wonderful thing to do right now. And hello, Tim, and welcome to the show. And we are really delighted to have you with us.
Everything is great here in Finland.
Thank you. And Alstar Minty, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much, Sheila. It's a bit, as we would call it in Scotland here, dreich, which is wet and rainy and cold.
Okay. So great to have you here. And it's all because Marcus is there to connect all of us. So welcome, Marcus, you too on your own show. So it's really my pleasure to welcome. And Tim, I can't see you. Are you there? Tim? There is no video. Yes. Now I can see you. Great. So wonderful to see you all wonderful guys here in the show. I welcome all of you again. And I would like to request Michael to please proceed with the further activity of the show. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Let's give Professor Sheila, a round of applause.
Yay, thank you.
Now there is one more task that you have to do. You have to anoint somebody for next week to be the host. Who shall it be?
Okay. So I choose Pia for the next host.
Pia's next.
All right. Thank you.
Pia, you've been anointed. All right, thank you so much. So Marcus, do you want to play the video first, or how do you want to do it?
We have still people coming in from John from Scotland. Welcome. And Kevin, I'm so glad that you are with us today. How are you?
Just in time.
Very nice, very nice. How are you, Kevin?
It's muggy out here. Maybe if I just get some light in here, that's perfect. Yeah, it's, you know, it's chill weather. October's here. I hope everyone's doing well. The seasons are changing. Hope everywhere, actually, the more I think about it. I was just listening to the Facebook stream and I just felt like, okay, definitely want to hop in on this one.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm excited.
How are you, John? How is life in Scotland?
I think John was on a call there.
Okay, he's coming later, but that's very good that John is on the call. So we have a very nice video from the festival provided by Eric Reagan from United States, and let's celebrate this Monday by watching the new video that is soon coming out on all platforms. So just a moment, I will put it on. Hello everybody, welcome to the No Labels, No Walls plus We Are One Festival 2020. My name is Markus Vähälä and I greet you all around the world here from Kukunori, Helsinki, Finland. I'm so glad that you are with us today to celebrate the unity of mankind with art, culture, and action.
Who taught you to hate yourself? Who told you to hate yourself? Liberate your mind, come and fight this war. Who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate yourself? Liberate your mind, come and fight this war.
2, 3. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say. We are the young people of today. Listen to what we have to say.
I wanna see the outside world again.
Home is waiting.
Live life good. Wherever I go. I cry, I make no shed no tears. Don't shed no tears. Hey, don't shed no tears. Don't shed no. Harry Bonnie Crew. Let you be the one for Benjamin. Midnight. Say cry. No labels go on. Should stay.
Awesome, wonderful. I hope you all pass around this video and invite your friends to join the movement. And Michael, can you tell a little bit about the video, how it was made?
Yeah, the video, I mean, obviously there was a lot, and that's the link for everybody. There was a lot of footage. So it was obviously really, really, you know, we couldn't do everything, and a lot of it was on Zoom. So we just kind of took, you know, some of the footage and just kind of compiled it over music. And it just kind of showed the scope of, you know, hopefully what, you know, what we all created together. Marcus, you're on mute. You're on mute, Marcus.
So it was a wonderful video, and this Monday we are coming together to celebrate our movement and also talk about the future of the movement. So about today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and after that. So it's very important that we linked ourselves to the meaning of all of this. We've been so active. It's called Action Monday. So being so active all the time. So we haven't had the possibility to really stop and discuss about the meaning of all of this. Isn't it so, Michael?
The big thing, you know, I think, you know, so we've been doing these polls, like, you know, not a lot, you know, we've had some people vote, but the idea is that what we've, I think, achieved so far is that everybody had a chance to speak. Everybody gets a chance to be heard. Doesn't matter which background. And that's great to kind of at least the beginnings of a conversation of how what we all do, even though it's different, kind of relates to each other. However, what we have not achieved yet is a sense of what you do relates to what I do, and we can actually create together. So that is something that is very difficult to achieve. And the reason is because our lives and the system separate us. And that's the normality of anybody's life. So when you're trying to have people actually create together, it's just different. And also everything that, you know, when we do create together, it's sort of extra as well, when it's probably the most important thing. So that being said, what it will take if we really want to have something that is no labels, no walls as far as a creation, it will take a constant effort, because the other effort is constant separation, and that's already normality. So what does that mean? I think what it means is that first we've got to kind of have to talk about why we're doing this. Is it to promote everybody's work and give them a larger audience? Because we've achieved that, you know, and we can continue to do that, but it sort of doesn't kind of build in the solidarity. Or we can try to create something, and maybe it's going to be less as far as scope, as far as events, as far as number of things, but it would be kind of revolutionary if we're able to do at least a few things. A few actions. And then I'm going to open it up. I just want to say the last thing is that if you look at the global world, it's sort of like in unionization terms of stress tests. We have a lot of stress tests coming up. We have the COVID, we have climate change, we have income inequality, we have all these huge problems, but they're all related to an internal and external evolution that needs to be achieved. So I think that just the fact that we're able to, you know, contribute global action, I think it would be a revolutionary idea. And I think it's something that we need to start planning if we're going to have at least a few of them next year together right now. That being said, let's open it up. And we have so many. Alistar's first, then we'll get to Michael, Riku, and then Marcus, can we open the Padlet? And then so we can write these down so then we can take action.
Yes, I in the chat there's a link to the Padlet. So while discussing, you can also add information there. It's a free form Padlet, so you can just push plus and put all sorts of topics that you feel are important. And you can also comment on the topics that we already have on the table. And Rafael is with us today, and we can concentrate on the conversation, and Rafael will pick up the pieces to the Padlet. So we will get the information from today. But that being said, there's a couple of comments here on the chat. Team says that we need to build better world together, and we can do it because we are awesome. And that is true. And that awesomeness, how can we show it in action and taking responsibilities to get the movement onwards? So Alistair, please.
Yeah, okay, so thanks, Marcus and Michael. I guess what I just wanted to reflect on was that we'd started our first action, which was to start connecting round about this global poverty. It's wider than poverty, but obviously we had Varun here, and we agreed that one of the follow-ups we would do would be to have monthly self-reflection sections where we could bring people together from different backgrounds, different experiences, to try and have a little bit more time, a bit of a deeper conversation about what we could do to create some of these changes and link things together. So we did our first session on Saturday. It was a good start. We didn't get, because it was the first session, we only got a little way into people's individual, what they were wanting and what their asks were. It was more just setting the scene, but I guess that's something that's available for anybody who wants to get involved in. Second Saturday of every month, it's going to be 1 p.m. UK time. The first one was 11:30, but that wasn't too inclusive for America because it meant it was like 6:30 in the morning.
What time is that in a 1:30 Scottish time?
1 p.m. UK, yes, time. I'm just trying to remember. I think we said that was going to be, it was still going to be fairly early morning for you, but let me just.
I can do it. I just wanted to. What time is it here? Hold on, I can find out. 1 p.m. I can figure it out. 1 p.m. Pacific time is.
No, it was Scottish.
Oh yeah.
It's GMT, yeah. Anyway, while you're looking that up, I would just say that that's something that anybody's welcome to join. And I guess that is it still.
It's 5 a.m. Alistar.
Is it?
Yeah, and that's why I didn't join in on Saturday. I was going to bring it up.
Right. Okay. We might need to push it even later then.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, we haven't set that for definite, but that's so we could maybe push it even later. Okay. Well, we'll just need to look at that. But I guess that was one of it's an opportunity for us to hopefully, one of the things we're hoping for is that each person will be able to share both what they're looking for and what their experience is in their community, because I know that when we talked, there was particularly about the experience in, for example, Los Angeles and San Francisco, there was issues about homelessness affected people's ability to get jobs. So while we've looked at Varun's experience in India and Africa in terms of how the communities have responded there, it's important for us to kind of put this in a way that's going to make sense to people in different parts of the world. So give some examples of some of the things that people are facing and how it can relate to them, because otherwise we're just going to turn people off and they're going to say, that's interesting, but it doesn't mean anything to me. And it's a bit like what you were saying, Michael, about, we either all do our own things separately or we come together. And so that's one of the practical things that we are keen to do. And I guess if we get our timing sorted, we'll get our timing sorted. But that's a kind of an ongoing commitment to kind of lots of people coming together and try and build something that makes more sense to other parts of the world.
That's a fantastic. I think what now I don't know. Did you promote that on the Facebook page? On the No Labels page?
Yeah, I put it. I put it on. I think I would, or did I? I put it on Citizen Network. I put it on. I thought I put it on New Labels, No Walls as well.
Just what we'll do is I'll put it on the mass email that we send out every week. So
right, well, let me what to do is we'll probably wait until I update the timings on it, so people don't come at the wrong time, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Anybody else? I saw a couple more hands come up when we were talking. Sorry, I'm trying to get to everybody. We had who else? Oh, Riku. Yes, Riku, and then Michael.
So I have put to our group a message and also talked to Mary last week about a TV and radio channel of No Labels, No Walls. It could be a very good way to promote the movement and share all kinds of discussions and of course art and music as well there. So what does it sound to you like?
It sounds at least it sounds great. I think what we could do, and might be an idea for We Are One, is We Are One. Obviously, you guys have already something fantastic, which is the stay up late that you now are doing more regular. Maybe we can put that on the TV. I don't know what your monthly is, but like if you're doing it once a month, but we should, it should be kind of like CBS used to be at back in the day where, there's a certain time, like once a month we could do.
Yeah,
people just watch.
maybe a little more often, like always when we have some kind of topic or so, every other kinds of issues that we should talk about live in YouTube, so or wherever our TV radio is pointed. So then we could have this like once a week or 2 days a week programs there.
Fantastic idea. It's a great idea, Riku. And Michael, you had something you were going to say.
Yeah, just off the back of that comment then, Michael, about the Stay Up Late gig. Again, it's an open invitation to anybody to attend. The first one was the first week of October, featuring Riku's music. It's going to be happening every first Friday of every month, and it's going to be on our Facebook channel and the Ink and Crow YouTube channel. And we decided to open it up to different bands, so you don't have to you don't have to have a disability to take part. We're going to open up to our friends from Los Angeles and Finland to take part as well, and anybody that would like to take part in a kind of world music Stay Up Late kind of movement, basically. I'll drop the email address in the chat box if you want to come along to it as well. The other thing I was going to say was last week we were talking about kind of mental health movement. I'm kind of like every year I collect kind of like awareness days for disability and mental health, because I feel as though that we should be celebrating it a bit more. Now, if I was going to tell you about an awareness day we would be here until next year to celebrate awareness days, because there's so many awareness days. But what I was thinking was, if we can get the We Are One movement involved, and sorry, no labels, no walls involved as well, as like on the 3rd of December, it's kind of the International Day of Disabled Persons, and the week after, it's a Human Rights Day, and I feel those human rights are kind of like taken away for disabled people a wee bit at the moment because of the kind of like coronavirus and what have you. So I just wanted to make these kind of like 2 points, you know.
Mehdi, yeah, you had something?
Yeah, thanks. That was great, Michael. And it just came to my mind that what like the TV channel, like a YouTube channel could do is like when we have Action Mondays and we have people coming together, maybe that could be one objective, to make a little program together, different people, different groups, and that would be something that we could present in
Yeah,
the
that was
YouTube.
that
So
was
that,
yeah, what I was trying to
so
say.
that could be coming, towards the next festival. What are we doing together? So maybe smaller things now, but that would become like a habit to do, for
Yeah.
all the Mondays. Yeah.
Like we would have this poor people conversation, for example. It could be online many times, for example.
And Alistar, going back, if we do the TV thing, what you're doing with maybe like 1:30 only works, but you rebroadcast that on the TV channel at another time. I think the channel is a good idea because, again, what is, if we look at the problem, which is a constant reminder of that we're supposed to be doing things together on a, separation, to have that TV playing things continuously, might be part of that reminder to people,
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. Does anybody else have anything that they can talk about why solidarity is important? You can talk about ideas of how you want to contribute to the movement. So we have ambassador roles, we have roles of communication, talking to friends and family, trying to fundraise. So any other ideas? The Prime Minister of the No Labels, do you have anything you want to bequeath to us?
Not particularly. I do think we need to look at the labour movement, trade union movement, because certainly think we need to look, certainly here, looking on a more local level, is that we need to look at the injustice that COVID has brought, and the fact that people with disabilities are being treated like prisoners. Certain support companies are still telling individuals it is too risky to go out. You can't go out. And one of them's quite a high profile one in the city. But also here in the city, it's looking at offshore safety and improving offshore safety, because as we approach, obviously, another anniversary later in next June 2021, another anniversary of Scotland's biggest, not only Scotland's biggest, but the world's biggest offshore disaster, Piper Alpha. It's still diabolical to think that people are going offshore and may not come home.
Great. I think so. Maybe we need to talk about maybe like going back to the No Labels, is these disasters come up and why did they come up and how can we come together so we don't keep suffering or globally from disaster.
Totally.
Disaster. Yeah. Okay, that's a great topic maybe for an Action Monday. So William, that being said, we're going to send you some dates. And it would be great if you can lead an Action Monday about that, because I think it's pretty important. Okay, great. Let's just go through the list. Simon, anything you want to add as far as why it's important? What are you thinking as far as how how Citizen Fest and yourself and your groups can contribute? Anything at all?
Hi, thanks, Michael. Yeah, I suppose for us, what was really striking was the way in which the two festivals were able to collaborate. So the We Are One was generating content, and it was benefiting from the content coming from No Labels, No Walls. No Labels, No Walls was generating content, but also able to take content from the festival. I think that in my head, but I don't know whether this is really practical, we have lots of coordinators and allies around the world. And I like the idea that we could build on the sharing process, but also every place could have its own identity. And I think it's really striking how time zones send us crazy. like every country's going to really have the best time for it to do things. And also, we do not want everything done in English. If you're Spanish or if you're German, everybody's proud of their own language, but in some cultures, they really don't speak English. They're not going to share in this approach at all. They're going to really resist seeing it as a shared enterprise if it's very dominated by English. So I think it would be lovely to think about how we can design the structure so it becomes expandable, but also local versions of this global festival, and that people can really feel they're part of something bigger, but they're not losing their identity in their own place, their own voices. So there's some kind of trick, some yin-yang trick, I think, to getting that developing. And I think there's a question about, which I don't really know the answer to, and I think it's maybe we don't need to worry about, but we have all these multiple brands, and that's really good, but we may want to be smart about how we use our brands, because these things can also, We Are One, No Labels, No Walls, Citizen Fest seem to me all really good brands, slightly different messages. I don't know that maybe we can just have some ideas about that going forward that will help us get the maximum benefit from all of those things without losing the distinctiveness. That's what's in my head.
Yeah, about kind of one message, more kind of, not as many. The only thing, and that's something to think about, the only thing that, we might run into is how do we get more groups to be a part of this? If, you know what I mean? I think we have to think about also as the living organism. I really liked what the Poor People's Campaign said about how the Poor People's Campaign is a living organism. So maybe what you're saying, Simon, is something we need to kind of keep going with and seeing what happens, as we progress. But it's a great point, because obviously we don't want to be confusing. No, great point. Is there anything, what about, let's see, who do we miss? John, and then we'll get to Pia. John, what do you think? From We Are One's perspective and your perspective, what would you like, what do you want to create? And then also, why is international solidarity? Anything you want to say?
Hi, sorry about the delay in joining. We have planned our kind of big debrief session next Monday afternoon, and I think I'd be in a better position really to kind of say what we're planning, what our thoughts are, this time next week. And I don't know if that would work with your schedule, but I could certainly feedback a bit more there. Definitely we intend to continue, the international collaboration. A bit like Simon said, maybe just trying to be clearer about how we differentiate what we do from what you do, from what other people might do, but still have that sense that it's coming under sort of one banner and that we collaborate with each other, etc. So, yeah, I suppose since the festival, I've been just thrown back into other work, and then I had a week's holiday, so I'm not firing on all cylinders with regard to the future. But I just wanted you to know that we're definitely still here, still keen to continue. And I think probably we're just sort of beginning to understand the extent of what's been created and what it might achieve. And so we need to kind of think long and hard about how we kind of resource that properly from a We Are One perspective. You know, there's
fantastic. Thank you, John. Yeah, thank you so much. And we're excited to keep working with We Are One. It was such a great, and I know Dominic, when he did the Stay Up Late, he probably had one of the best times of his life. So, you know, so we really, it was just a real blessing to have, you know, you all a part of the festival.
I think it's really good as well that there's all sorts of wee spin-offs happening. You know, so we shouldn't feel as though we need to control it. Because that's part of the creativity, isn't it? It's just we also want to make the most of what potential we now have. So yeah, it's probably quite a key point in the development of the festival of Citizen Fest, isn't it? So.
And Professor Sheila, you wrote something on the chat. Why don't you share it and any thoughts you have, and then we'll get to Pia.
Yes, I have written on the box where you have asked for what attracted me to No Boundary, No Walls. So as I have repeated many times, like we believe in single consciousness all over the world, not only in human beings, but also in all living beings, plants, insects, everything. So that is the idea that the God has not created any boundary, any wall. It is we people who have created boundaries and wall on the maps and in our hearts as well. We are keeping on dividing on many things. Maybe nationality, maybe the color, maybe the language, maybe what we do. So these are artificially created boundaries by we, the human beings. So we need to erase them by the love which we feel for each other. And now this corona, the pandemic has taught us very well that if anything happens at any place in the world, nobody is safe. So it is going to impact everyone, whether you care for it or you don't care. So we are a part of the whole cosmos or the system. And so we can exist when everything is at its place. So we can't stay happy in isolation. So we need to care for each other. And that is how, as Mr. Varun, he is also trying to do that through the practice of yoga, so that people can feel that togetherness, the one consciousness, how we are same. So if we realize, like, you know, we don't have to tell ourselves that don't cut finger, it will hurt. Why? Because it is my finger and it hurts when it is cut. So if I believe that everyone is a part of me, so if anything happens to them, it will hurt us. So we will not do anything if it is not in the well-being of other people. So we need to spread this message that we are one, we are living together, we need to care for each and everybody, and that is in our own interest. It is not in interest of others. We can't exist if you are not happy, if you are not well, if you are not healthy. So yoga is really a technique, you can say, which relates each one of us as one single consciousness. And this is how I think Varun is doing a great job through Manavodaya. And also for erasing the poverty, he's creating the self-help group facilitators. So if there are people who can facilitate the poor people or the people who are not having that much of knowledge, so creating knowledge and making people stronger from within, that can go a long way in establishing a world community without any boundary. So that's what I believe into. Thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you so much. And, you know, goes back, I think, highlights kind of the issue too. The problem we kind of talked in the beginning is maybe necessarily right now where we're at is why. You know, for so many people, the question of international solidarity is why is that important, or any solidarity? And that's something that, you know, that might be our message, at least right now, that we need to focus on. You know, the knowledge, the wisdom. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Pia, do you have anything? And then Kevin, you would like to say?
Hello. Yeah, no, I'm not sure if I have anything constructive to say. I basically, the idea of having to save the world, I find pretty daunting. So, you know, I'd always rather keep it in my corner of the universe and try to be loving, patient, kind with people. And I think this is, you know, I've been talking about this before, and I think this is part of the problem, or it's maybe a symptom of what's going on. It's like, what I find, what's lacking in the world is a sense of commitment to whatever, you know. It's this canceling culture that's happening, you know. Oh, I don't feel like it, so I don't do it. And on the other hand, it's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And so it's a bit, I don't know. I think what we need is commitment, or like, you know, what's important to learn is commitment to whatever we're doing, and then also to show that commitment also towards others. You know, that is what relationship is all about. It's not just about me being seen, but it's also looking at you. And, you know, that we create within ourselves this, that there's interest for others. And now I see you talking because I think, oh, what is she talking about? No. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think, you know, it's, you know, be the change you want to see in the world, basically, you know. And whatever makes you happy, you know, if you can spread joy, then that's great. And, you know, I think, you know, what we focus on, we'll get. If we keep focusing on the problem, we're getting more problems. And, you know, I think it's always important to focus on the solution, whatever it may be. And if it is just a change of thought or a change of idea. And for that, I think it's really important, you know, in that sense, it might make really sense for people who are interested in the topic of poverty, or who think that it needs to be addressed, to, you know, to actually, you know, I was saying it the other day, have I ever been poor? Yes, I have been poor. But, you know, I was so poor I couldn't even pay for food. But I'm still here. So even though there might not be financial, richness, but there are other things that are also important. And I think one part of the problem is that everything is so much on winning and finances and everything. That is all important, but it shouldn't overtake everything else. So there are other levels that need to be addressed. And I keep rambling, so I just shut up. I don't have a solution, and I have a particular perspective that might not be interesting to other people. So yeah, that's it. I shut up now.
Thank you, Pia. Thank you so much. That was, yeah, no, absolutely. And that's solidarity. Yep, that's perfect. Raphael or Kevin? Raphael, do you want to go, and then Kevin? Do you have anything you want to add, Raphael?
I have been doing some notes there in the Padlet, and about the what Pia has said, it has taught me about what's the change that you want to see in the world. Start with yourself. I guess also that connects with the professor Sheila said about the yoga path. So I guess in the end, it's part of the movement of no labels, no wall is trying to understand what we have to serve, what we have to best to serve to the other, and how can we best serve ourselves, that we nurture ourselves and that we can give back to the other. So this is just some reflection, but I don't have any action in mind. But thank you, Michael.
No problem. And Kevin?
This is, everybody's just hitting all cylinders, like nailed, right on the head. It's like nothing I can contribute, but I feel like you guys bring up excellent points of just, I guess how just coming together. I mean, being here in the States, I'm just seeing all this division, and it's one of the few things I look forward to on Mondays now, because I get to hear from other corners of the planet, and it makes me realize we're not so different. And I think that if we are going to continue, especially now, given that under the circumstances that we're in, that I guess it's just a matter of we have to listen to each other, we have to connect. I just sent an email during this discussion to the Stay Up Late. I'm very interested. And I'm pretty sure my organization would be interested in participating.
Fantastic, Kevin. We have last person, not last least. Oh, we have more. Tim, and then Lumi. Tim, do you have anything you want to add? I saw you on the chat. I just want to make sure. You have anything you want to add, Tim?
No, of course not. I just love spamming the chat. It is always so great. Don't ask me. I'm just here.
Oh, Tim,
sitting.
you were the best announcer for the festival. I don't know what you're talking about. You're so humble. You're a humble man.
No, stop it. Oh my God.
Oh, there's Neasley. Hey, Neasley. Happy birthday, Neasley. We'll sing to you later. Hold on one sec. So we've got Tim, and there was a Lumi. Lumi, sorry, it's hard to see everybody. Is Lumi still there? Oh, I can't show grid view. Oh, okay. Let me make sure I got to everybody. Did anybody, Neasley, do you want to say anything? I know you're coming in late, but do you want to say anything at all? Okay, no. All right, so, oh, hey, Neasley. Happy birthday, Neasley. Do you want to say anything before you, yep, I can hear you. Neasley, your sound is off, Neasley. Your sound is
Don't sing happy birthday.
We'll get at the end. Neasley, do you have anything you want to add? Okay, we'll get to you because your sound is a little bit muffled. Okay, so that being said, I want to kind of move now into roles. So we talked a lot about different things, right? We talked about all these great things. But the thing that keeps coming up, I think, is how do we get people to join? How do we get people to move? How do we kind of create together? So I think the first step in what Sheila was talking about is the importance of solidarity. So there's different roles we came up with that, people can do, like ambassadors. So ambassadors mean like people who want to post on social media, people who want to talk about certain issues to get people engaged, and then hopefully get people on the Zoom, on these different actions. There's ambassadors of communication, which is about building out social media works, like for instance, the TV channel that Riku was kind of alluding to. There's ambassadors of fundraising. So maybe we can make products that people can wear, like this great We Are One shirt. Maybe we can, start having people wear it and, giving a donation. That could be something. There's, and any other things. So I just kind of want to talk about like maybe one concrete thing that everybody can do once a week. It can be for an hour, it could be 30 minutes, but just something that then they feel connected to this movement in an action. And it can be even meditating, like like Sheila was talking about with yoga, or internalize. But maybe we can just kind of go through that. What is one thing or one role that people want to do for 1 hour a week that can help further this movement of solidarity? And I'm going to go through the list, and it can be kind of brief, just one sentence. But Raphael, I'll start with you because you're the first one there. So what do you want to do for 1 hour a week that helps further this sense of solidarity and this sense of oneness? Yes.
I liked your idea about meditation. Yeah, I will follow Sheila. I really think that no labels, no walls is something much more profound, relate to ourselves. So once I'm in peace with myself, I can be much more a good mirror to society. So I'm really needing to be more introspective now. So I will do that. And besides that, I will do my job in Kukunori to support the no labels, no walls. So that's going to be my practical side, to do this analysis on the Padlet and see what I can do with all. Thank you.
Thank you, Raphael. So meditation and doing your job. I like it. Kevin, what are you going to be doing? What would you like to do to help further? You mentioned that We Are One Stay Up Late, but what would you like to do?
Well, my other passion other than music is art. I would like to really connect with all the artists, painters, cartoonists out there, just to, I guess, expand on that realm. Otherwise, if what we were doing during this beginning of the pandemic was we were creating music. I don't think it's going to apply to everybody, but if we hit like a topic that could be universal, or just even create like some music, like if you need to fall asleep, for instance, or if you need to meditate, I'm pretty sure that would be cool to like collaborate something around that.
So maybe.
So Kevin, on the 9th of November,
All right.
it's an art event that's kind of an action. And there are now maybe 5 artists, Riku included, who are bringing in a piece of artwork with the theme of safety and comfort, and see how all over the world people see that. But I'll send you the email. Anybody can be part of that. But basically, there were people who were sharing their art that I suggested they would participate. But yes, there's something like that you can continue.
Yeah. So
be part of.
Yeah, that could be so that's definitely an action, maybe for even the next year's festival, which is a group of different artists collaborating on a specific theme. It's a great idea. And maybe you can help organize that. That's fantastic. Okay, so we've got that. Fantastic, Kevin. And Sheila, what would be something that you can do for 1 hour a week that would help further this ideas that we kind of put forth?
Well, I think when we think anything, then the thoughts reach everywhere on the earth. So I would like to meditate and send the best vibrations, the peaceful vibrations to everybody on the earth and wish them well. And another is the music. Music connects everybody. As Kevin said, that is the only thing that we can understand even if we don't understand the language. So beyond language, if we want to connect with the people, then the music is the only way. So we can do something together for a little time. Sometimes it is meditation, sometimes it is music. Sometimes it could be a little poetry, literature, a piece of literature sharing with each other. So these are the things which connect the humans. So I would like to connect that way, like the meditation, yoga, music, literature, poetry, or even sharing the feelings, how I feel, the inner feelings. If you share with other people, then they come closer to you. So that is what I think I can do. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know, two ideas that came up, and Sheila, I'm going to ask you, maybe next week you can share a poem at the end of the meeting. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. And then also we can have part of the TV idea, if we do develop that, which I think is a great idea, we could have a music hour every week. Or, you know, however many times, you know, every month, however you want to do that. That would be a great idea as well. So Sheila, can't wait to hear the poetry next week. That's fantastic. Great. Pia, you're up. So what would you like to do for 1 hour a week or more that has to do with spreading the message, solidarity, etc.?
Well, I'm going to continue to meditate, but I will smile at people. People are always very surprised when you smile at them in the street. So that's what I'm going to do.
Fantastic. Smiling in Finland. That's good. Very good. Revolutionary.
Brave.
In winter.
In winter. It's revolutionary. Neasley. Hi, Neasley. What would you like to do? I know you're doing so much. And again, we're going to sing happy birthday. Can you, yeah, let's see if your audio works. No, the audio doesn't work. You know, try coming back in. Exit, and then we'll get back to you, and then try logging back in. Because the audio is messed up. Okay? We'll get back to you, though. Riku, 1 hour.
Yeah. I would like to say for radio and TV shows that we could have friends there to interview on any other topics, and then more important people to interview, and then lots of us could be also hosting the programs.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Riku. Michael, 1 hour. What are you going to do every week? Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, I guess Rob, Riku's idea about the kind of media, kind of YouTube podcasting, and just to get the message out there to people that there's a kind of movement out there, you know.
So, Michael, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect you and Riku to kind of, if you can, like in the next week or so, can you write up like a little plan as far as how you want that channel to be? And then so we can then talk about it in the next meeting. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would be fantastic, yeah.
Great. I'm going to connect you, and anybody else that wants to be part of that planning of the channel, please just write in the chat and I will email the group after this meeting. Fantastic.
Thank you, Michael.
No problem. Okay, we're out to Prime Minister. And then Prime Minister, what are you going to do besides being the Prime Minister for an hour every week?
An hour a week.
Do more. I know that your job is a little bit more serious.
I suppose, and don't panic, Alistair. I'm not going to shave you I'm not going to shave you and try and transplant the hair onto John Dalrymple. That's definitely well out with my remit. For an hour a week, I think I'm going to sit and just promote No Labels, No Walls, and get it out there and get people interested and get people talking about it, you know, because, you know, what COVID's taught us is be nice to each other, be kind to each other, and there is no need for a label. There's no need for walls. As we know, a certain man that's saying he's not got COVID. I recovered from COVID. It's a miracle. Likes to build walls. Well, we certainly don't. And I see people for their name, not the label that comes along with them. So I think I'm going to promote no labels, no walls, and share the streams and just get people to come along on a weekly basis.
Fantastic. And anybody else who wants to be kind of in the communications, like media, please also write on the chat, and then I will connect you with William, because that's something that we definitely need. I've been doing it to groups. That's why we've had so many people watching the festival, was because it was shared in probably about 70 or 60 groups every time. So yeah, let's talk about that, how we can kind of get to, you know, the social media going. So please write that in the chat. John, back from vacation, but now back to work. What are you going to do in an hour a week?
Well, I think what William was saying was really important. I think we're still in our ghettos, aren't we? We've made huge strides. We've connected with lots of people we didn't connect with before, but I think we're still needing to break out from our natural communities a bit more. And I think the festival has taught us that we can. So I'd like to be involved in communications with people that I wouldn't normally be communicating with, or wouldn't otherwise know about the festival, and saying,
Oh, it's fantastic. Okay, so John and William, I'm going to write an email, and then we can talk about some of the stuff that No Labels did as far as social media outreach, and then maybe we can kind of talk about how we promote, and, you know, get the message out there. That's fantastic. Cool. Where are we at? Simon, what are you going to do an hour a day to take, or a week, sorry. Day.
It's Michael.
It's a day. We've upped the ante. We've upped the ante.
I'm tired enough as it is. I think my job is to work with Marcus on how some of these things link together. So Citizen Network is kind of connected all around the world, and it's connected to all these different organizations. And there's got to be a fluidity, and there's a joy in that. But I think trying to discover what the structures are that go underneath that help things be slicker. I think social media is an area where we can help because we have structures and communications. So I'd like to help with that. But generally, just in the broadest sense, what's the underlying technology and systems of organization? We have all these, like we have country coordinators. I think some of these folk would love to get involved. Some of them already are involved, but some aren't. How do we go to them and say, hey, next year, start planning for being part of this, understanding what we've learned from the last 2 years, simplifying and building on that? I think that's what my job is. Maybe just working with you and Marcus and John to make that as strong as it can be in the future, that I think. Fantastic. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Communication. So we'll definitely add you to the list, and we can talk about how we can do it. Thank you. Thank you, Simon. Let's see, making sure we got everybody. Alistar, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I guess one of the things that's made me think has been the session that we did on Saturday is that I think one of my goals is the accessibility, because we're quite diverse. And sometimes we've got so many really good messages, but because sometimes people see us as very different, people will sometimes switch off and say, you know, that they won't necessarily engage with something. So I think be confident, be practical, and really working on the accessibility of our message so that people people see the commonality and they want to engage and see it as practical and something that has relevance to their life and not just something that's out there or niche just to one small section of the world. And just be relentlessly optimistic that we can keep we have evidence that if we just ignore all the nonsense that tries to get in the way, we can build us a path through and we can make a difference. And I just think we just keep on with that. It's not about, I know, like Pia was saying about, the overwhelmingness of trying to change the world, but I guess we're just keeping moving out from where we are, start from ourselves, what can we do? And then just keep moving outwards. And you don't have to change the world. You just keep going forward. And gradually we'll start infecting different people with our optimism.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's so great, at least with the no labels and I'm sure is that it doesn't exist. So, it's like, what is it? Well, I don't know. We don't know yet, It is kind of optimistic just to even say it, So fantastic. Good. Okay, let's keep going. I want to make sure. Neasley, the birthday. Let's see if your sound is working.
I switched devices, so
fantastic.
This has to be okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Sorry I was late. People calling from all over the place, and some people were FaceTiming, so I had to take their calls. A while ago, I signed up for this organization called Girl Trek, and about 2 weeks ago, they put out a call for a prayer walk, and so I have actually been walking with them for an hour every day. And prayer, meditation, and then they share stories about different people within the African American community that whose lives, whether it's their pain or their life or whatever tragic thing that happened to them, and how that thing propelled them into a movement, and how it's made a difference, how it's made a change. And so that's what I'm planning. I started doing, and that's what I will continue to do, is to continue to engage in meaningful conversation, listening to other people's stories and understanding how they got to where they are. So it is meditating, it is prayer, but it's still this conversation piece that I find to be important. Because if I don't know the stories, then I will never understand what no labels, no walls mean. Because if I don't know stories, I'm always going to think that my story is the only story that's important. But hearing the story from different perspective helps me to have a greater capacity. Yes. Let me get that.
And stories we did do, I don't know if everybody remembers before the festival, about family or friends and nearest and dearest, where we had people talking about their stories of what connects them together. Maybe that's something we can bring more larger into next festival, because that's a great point. And maybe Neasley, maybe you can start collecting some of those stories that you're already kind of hearing about for the movement.
And maybe that could be one theme that different groups could do, like people who do music, who do art, who do theater, film, like it could be, and also in discussions, kind of how that's possible.
Yeah. So let's keep going. Last but not least, Tim, anything you want to add?
No, of course not. Everything is fine.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do in an hour?
What? You really expect me to do something?
Yes, Tim.
I'm lazy.
No, you're not, Tim. Just in your mind.
Well, again, I will do always whatever somebody needs. So
that's good. That's fantastic.
Like always, if you need help in anything, you can always ask. So that's it. I don't know anything else. So yeah.
That's important.
Now, Alistair, now you know where to go if you need a bouncer when I come running with a razor blade. Go to Tim. Tim will help you.
Tim's a bouncer, the bouncer of No Labels. So that being said, it's now 10 something, 10:09. So I think what we've done, and Marcus, if you want to add anything, you want to add anything, Marcus?
Yes, I wrote to the Padlet that we have now applying funds from the European Union to support the movement. There's two different ideas going on forward. One of them is a joint collaboration with Sweden from Dramalogen, which is the country coordinator of Citizen Network, where we have 4 mobilities where people are creating this kind of community theater piece that will be presented in the next year's festival. So like I mentioned some time ago, I've reserved the Central Library Audi, the 3rd and 4th of September 2021. And it's one of the dates that we now have. And also for John and everybody in the We Are One community. So that's one of the dates that you can pass on for next year's Citizen Fest. Another thing, a larger thing for next year and the year after is the collaboration with Malta and Germany. So working with people with learning disabilities, we are creating a training program for citizenship and community support persons for people with learning disabilities. So this way we can support local movements and also people who need support in joining the movement, but also creating these festivals. So if we get this funding, we are able to create 3 citizen fests in Finland, in Germany, and in Malta. So I'm very excited about this. And continuing with the theme of sharing the action, Rafael will create us a poll in the Facebook that we can also poll for our action for 26th of October, when we are using 1 hour to eradicate poverty. So last time we were having these ideas, now we are polling and choosing one thing to do. So please answer this poll and come to the Action Monday on 26th. So that's from me today. But let's not forget to sing to Nisley.
Yes, and we're going for the last thing. So now everybody talked about what they're going to do. This is the last piece. What we would like, by next week if possible, is everybody contacts one person and has them join in with you on that one thing. So for instance, if you're going to be meditating, then have somebody else, ask somebody. It can be, now obviously it's preferable somebody you don't know or somebody from a different community, but ask them to meditate with you. If it's a song, maybe ask them to have ideas for the song you want to create, or the artwork, or like Neasley was saying, the walk. But everybody has to find one person, whatever they're going to do, to connect to somebody that does it with them, or at least in solidarity with them. Because if we can kind of start small and then kind of, then go bigger, I think it's a good thing, for us all to do, right? How do we bring people along with us, connect together? Is that okay for everybody? It's not a test, just an idea.
Great. That's great.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we can't wait to hear next week what happened. All right, fantastic. And that being said, if anybody doesn't have anything else, I think Kevin's ready with his guitar for singing some happy birthday to Neasley.
The bice, but yes, let's do it.
All right, on a 1, 2, 3, hit it.
Happy
birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Neasley. Happy birthday to you.
Even with the lag, we did it. We did it. Happy
did
birthday.
it. We did it.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. That was really cool.
And welcome next week with Sunil about environmental governance and all things important. Very interesting topic. And if you have any ideas about Action Mondays, we are open to anything. So, for example, Niesli, you had this new movement that you talked about. Think about it, representing it here on Action Mondays. So info
Definitely.
at nowalls.net.
Definitely. I've reached out to them already, actually, to see if they would be interested. So someone is getting back to me.
Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Can't wait to hear how everybody connected next week. We'll talk soon. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye
day. Have a
bye.
good week.
Let's keep in contact.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. I don't know how to leave this thing.
You
Oh,
go
it's
to
right
the
here.